自己人啊！
Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Sudsy Beagle, and this is my review of From Vegas to Macau 3. Chinese New Year is the biggest holiday in Chinese culture. I enjoy watching Chinese New Year movies during the holiday because to me they reflect and add to the sense of holiday fun. From Vegas to Macau 3 is a great Chinese New Year movie. It has a whole lot of familiar faces, some really silly laughs, and a lot of spectacle and distraction. The opening credits recycle footage from Part 2 as if to remind us of some story in progress, except that really there isn't. But it's cheaper than shooting new footage, I suppose. Chow Yun Fat returns as Ken, the de facto god of gamblers. He's not the god of gamblers, but he is. You know what I mean? Yes, you do. His daughter's nuptials are interrupted by an exploding robot. That's not a euphemism. Ken may be insane, and he gambles. A little. Chow Yun Fat does a lot of scene chewing that left me flat, but had the audience around me laughing. Andy Lau plays... well, Andy Lau. He shows up occasionally and even smiles. To be honest, I don't really remember that much about the story. It's very, very thin, and quite often the movie just stops trying to tell it. There's a long sequence involving ping pong that is funny, and it certainly entertained the audience I was watching the movie with. But it also conveniently and conspicuously burned off about 10 minutes of running time without moving the story forward one iota. The same can be said of an entire sequence of the film that takes place in prison. I don't remember how or why Ken ends up in prison, but I think it's just so that we can watch and sincerely enjoy an extended homage to the Prison on Fire movies that includes cameos from Chi Hung and Chow Yun Fat wearing those improvised sunglasses and playing the erhu. None of these things do anything for the story, but it was a lot of fun to watch. I enjoyed that segment a lot, but the audience at the Dynasty where I watched it enjoyed it even more. They had a grand old time with it. My disquieting fixation with alternately attractive women continues thanks to Li Yu-chun, the 2005 winner of China's Supergirl singing contest and thankfully not a member of Hong Kong's Supergirls. She works for Ken, fulfilling the job previously filled by Sean Yu. I don't mean the character role, I mean the professional role. She does a lot of running and jumping and shooting, and I enjoyed her appearance probably more than I should have. Which can also be said of Nick Chung doing an impression of Marlon Brando's Don Corleone. And Wong Jing's cameo, because you can interpret it several different ways. From Vegas to Macau 3 is not a great movie, but I spent a very happy 90 minutes watching it during Chinese New Year. The audience in the cinema that I watched it with laughed a lot and seemed to really enjoy it quite a bit. I personally really enjoyed the traditional Chinese New Year greeting from the cast at the end of the film. That used to happen a lot more often in movies, and I'm glad that it happened at least once this year. From Vegas to Macau 3 is not great cinema by any stretch. It panders to its sponsors and to the China market with such open genuflection that I almost feel bad for the people who made it. It takes some of the biggest names in Hong Kong cinema, one of the most iconic roles in that cinema's history, and the trust, goodwill, and affection of the audience, and pimps all of it so mercilessly that the screen practically has scars from clothes hangers and electric cords. From Vegas to Macau 3 might not be a great movie, but it did provide what the audience wanted. I enjoyed it, but that probably has a lot more to do with my going into the cinema with very low expectations. I'm sure that helped. I enjoyed this movie, but I can understand why a lot of people perhaps won't. Like I said, my expectations were low, and I'm perfectly content every Chinese New Year to sit down and watch Chow Yun Fat and Andy Lau, and in this case Jackie Chung, just kind of parade through what looks like a Chinese New Year movie. Now that's fun for me, but for a lot of other people, they might find it disappointing. Maybe they want gambling in these movies, or maybe they want a story, and I don't blame you, but you're not going to find it here. If you want to watch this movie, do the right thing. Don't download it, don't watch it online. Wait till you can rent it, or better yet, buy a disc. When it becomes available for home video, I'll update the description with a link where you could do just that. If you enjoyed my review, please tell me. If you didn't, tell me. If you enjoy the channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.